this episode of Skywatch, I'll be using an uber light sensitive camera to see if I can capture shooting stars and meteors like this guy in the night sky of a city with extreme light pollution. I'll also show you two objects moving in formation that I find extremely interesting. We'll be taking a closer look at the moon and what the heck these guys are, and did I capture a UFO? All that and more on this episode of Skywatch. Hi all, and welcome to this new series I'm starting called Skywatch. Before we get started, don't forget to show some love by smashing that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. Okay, let's get this show started. So for this first episode, I'm filming from a location that is so saturated with light pollution that each night only a few stars and planets are visible. My idea was to take a light-sensitive camera, point it towards the sky and start filming in hopes of capturing meteors or objects in the night sky that were otherwise undetected by the human eye due to the light pollution. So I placed the camera in 4 different positions, filming north, east, south, and you guessed it, west. The moon was also out at the time, so we'll take a better look at that a little bit later in this episode. But to start, I wanted to first discuss some of the winged nighttime animals that were spotted. These first two are no doubt bats. I have been seeing a lot of bats in this area at night, but they are so fast and elusive that catching them on camera has been difficult. You can get a good idea of their speed during their flight in this clip. Now there is one more winged nighttime animal that I caught on film. Can anyone take a guess? If you guessed owl, then you are correct. Now, unlike the bat that was captured on camera without me knowing until reviewing the footage, the owl I saw. In fact, it was just past 12 a.m. in the morning. I was standing in the dark field filming, and I decided to turn around and look behind me for some reason, and when I did, I saw a massive bird fly a few feet over my head, causing me to duck down. Here's the clip. Now let's take a look at some of the other activity that was captured in the night sky. First, let me preface this by saying I never expected to see meteors burning up in the Earth's atmosphere over the city. In fact, I always thought you needed to be in the mountains or dark sky community somewhere in order to film what I captured on camera. Let's take a look. Starting in the north, we had 2 meteors that were spotted about 5 minutes apart. This first meteor came in low on the horizon. Let me slow it down so you can take a better look. The second meteor came in a little higher than the first, and we can see it fully burn out. Again, here's a better look slowed down and zoomed in a bit. How cool is that? Okay, now let's take a look at footage from the east. There was only one meteor that was captured on camera, but it's also my favorite of the night. Look how fast it streaks across the sky and burns out just before going out of frame. Slowed down, you can really see the tail on this one. Now, even though the East Cam only caught one meteor, it did capture some other interesting objects moving through the sky and would really like to get your opinion on what you guys think it could be. This first clip is of an object moving from the left to right at a very high rate of speed. I'll slow it down and zoom in so you can see it better. To give you a point of reference, here is a plane that was filmed on the same camera pointing east. Notice the speed difference and also how bright the plane's lights are. And here's a clip of an insect in the distance. Look at the weird flight path. Now I admit, this could be an insect, but the high rate of speed, flight path, and lack of detail leads me to believe that this is a craft of some sort at a very high altitude. Here's one last look. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. There was also one more object caught on the East Cam. However, this one looks more like a meteor to me, but without the tail and burnout. Here it is slowed down. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, on to the South Cam now, and unfortunately there wasn't much of anything captured looking south other than the owl I showed you guys earlier. However, the moon was in the south and boy was she looking amazing. Let's take a closer look using a super zoom camera to try and see if we can spot anything interesting. I love looking at all the details on the moon's surface. It's one thing seeing it in pictures, but it's another thing filming it and seeing all the craters and lakes with your own footage. This is raw and unedited. Now, it doesn't look like I captured anything out of the ordinary on the moon's surface this time, but I did catch a flock of something fly past. Take a look. I normally see the movement in the wings when birds fly past the camera, but I think they're flying too fast for that. Not 100% sure, so let me know what you guys think. Now, our last camera angle for the night, west, also didn't capture any meteors, but it sure caught something better. Two things, in fact. So let's start with this first clip. Here we have two objects that definitely appear to be moving in formation at a very high rate of speed. You also see that they don't fly in a straight line. There are slight movements. I'll slow this down in a minute and zoom in so you can take a better look, but I have so many questions after watching this, like what are they and are these man-made or something else? I mean, look how close they're flying together. I've never seen anything like it. Here's a slowed down version of the clip. Again, look at the tight formation these two are flying in. And also pay attention to this flight path because it looks like they're going straight, but if you really pay attention, you can actually see them veer a little right and then back left. They kind of straighten out and then they go left a little bit more again, keeping that tight pattern. And look at here at the end when I freeze this frame, you can actually clearly see that these are two objects and not one. So interesting. Here's an even closer look zoomed in. What are these guys? They don't look like they're in our airspace. They look like they're in space to me, a very high rate of speed, and so close together. And not to mention the shape that I'm looking at. It clearly looks like these are two circular or round objects flying together in space. I don't know anything that we have in the United States with this technology. I don't know of any planes that we have, again, especially flying in this close formation. So please comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I can't wait to hear all the ideas. Okay, here's the last object I filmed on the West camera, and it's a great one. As you can see, the object looks like it's floating through space at a very strange angle. It has an extremely weird shape, looks long, really long actually, compared to some of the other objects I caught on camera. No blinking lights, no wings, and no visible propulsion that I can see. Basically nothing that leads me to believe that this is a plane. And that's why I chose it as this week's What the F is That clip. So let's investigate this. First, I wanted to see how the object looks with a few filters, starting with a green tinted night vision filter. This should help us get a better idea of the shape and size. I also want to determine if this is one object or multiple. It looks like there's spacing between them. I don't know, it's a little hard to tell, so why don't we take a closer look? In this clip, it's really easy to see that spacing in between the first larger object and the objects behind it. What do you guys think about that one? I mean, this close-up shot, it's a little hard to see and it's grainy, but I don't know. I clearly see some spacing behind that one. Okay, now let's see with a negative filter. I want to see if we can pick up on any other details that were maybe missed out on the original footage or even with the green night vision footage. Right off the bat, look at that. Clearly there is a gap. I do not believe this is one object. I'm starting to really believe that this is multiple objects. You can kind of see better detail when it comes to the separation and the spacing from the first one to the last few. Better on this clip than on the green night vision, actually, which is kind of interesting. Again, here's a closer look so we can get a better view. And this is the original speed. This is not slowed down in any way. Okay, now I want to compare the size and speed with the plane I filmed. Again, notice how bright the plane is, and it actually looks a little faster than the unknown objects or crafts on the left. This confirms to me it is definitely not a plane. And look at the difference in the size. I mean, the plane is visibly smaller. Okay, lastly, a type of chrome filter, just to see if there's any other details that can be made. Honestly, what is this? Based off of the footage that I've taken, all the different filters we've used, and just trying to dig a little deeper, for me, I do not believe this is man-made. I think this is a large object with 3 other objects trailing right behind it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think this is just one very large craft, or if you think this is what I think it is, 3 small crafts following behind a large mothership type of. I don't know. I really don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's it for this episode of Skywatch. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading new episodes weekly and have challenged myself to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year and would love your support. So thanks again for watching, and I leave you with some amazing footage of our moon. Let me know if you see anything, and I'll catch you next time.